Take this out. All right. All right. Got my notes here. And it's a very lovely night. Of course, it may be daytime for some in the other side of the pond or whatnot, but I definitely want to say hello, and also uh, had a long work week, but I definitely had a great time, all things considered. But with all that said, it's time for the Madden Season 12 draft. Now, I understand that a good friend of mine is going to be doing a show of his own, but that's another. But I will mention it as soon as he comes in. But with all that said, though, I also understand that our good friend Goddess of Pain is doing her show too. But I wanted to get this out and ready. So with that said, hey, what's up, Brandon? How you doing, man? Okay. Oh yeah, let me share this with. It's a little different. Now I have to share this with those in the notification squad, but let me do that really quick. I'll be right with you. There we go. Got it. All right, let's see who we have in the chat right now. We also have Brandon and RS, and yes, you're finally you're going to be making your debut as well. Now, of course, Brandon is coming off a successful Super Bowl run. In fact, both the Washington Commanders as well as the Cleveland Browns, they both made the Super Bowl. Now, these were two wild card teams, and yet they had to win 3 games to get there. And it was the Washington Commanders that came out on top and took command and became the Super Bowl champions. But we have 8 teams coming in, and these 8 teams, I'll introduce you to them right now. All right. And in no particular order, of course. You have the Las Vegas Raiders, the Tennessee Titans, the Buffalo Bills, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Arizona Cardinals. No, not the Chargers. The Dallas Cowboys. The Green Bay Packers. And the New England Patriots. Those are the 8 teams that will be drafting. But I also realize that not everyone's going to be here. I know that some people are either at Goddess's show or they're probably even doing other things. And I don't expect everybody to be here. But if you are, I applaud you. And I'm good. And I'm serious. I definitely applaud you for those who are here. And if not, you're always welcome to watch the replay. I will get a couple of housekeeping items out of the way. I wanted to acknowledge a good friend of mine in. I'm just going to share with you his channel. Give me a moment. Okay. But you guys can talk about other things. You can mention some other things if you like. I truly do not mind. Well, most things. Okay. All right. So here is one of them. And I'm going to share it with you in the chat. So my good friend Clinton, Clinton McCleary, Clinton Flippin, whatever you want to call him, he is going to be doing a show, and of course it's going to be based on Madden, as he has his own league, the DAFL, and he's done a pretty good job with it. In fact, he's done a great job with it. And in fact, if you're interested in more football action, you can definitely check him out. I also want to give a shout out to another good friend of mine. Let me get him. And this person is going to be on Twitch. In fact, they will be going live at 12 a.m. 12 midnight. Yeah, 12 midnight, and we'll be doing a 24-hour stream. So if you're interested in that, I will give you the link to his channel. So let me do that really quick. Oh, don't want to get copyrighted for the audio here, but it is for my good friend. You may know him better as Beetleborgs, but you also may remember him best as Triple Beat. Anyway, funny enough, I own a team on Clinton's channel, and so is Jose Miguel. You know what? You can tell me which team that you're quote unquote the owners of. Anyway, this is Triple Beat's channel, and as I mentioned before, he's going to be going live with a 24-hour stream, and it starts on midnight tonight, and of course will end at 11:59 p.m. of the next day. So that's what's going to be happening on Triple Beat. But also tomorrow I will be doing WWE 2K22, and of course this is in the lead up to Blue Toad Mania. But of course there are some loose ends that will need to be taken care of, and also to determine what matches are going to be at the showcase of the Toads. Not Immortals, because, you know, obviously WWE owns that. But the showcase of the Toads, Toadettes, Wolves, Humans, Hulks, Dragons, and all other creatures. So I will leave it at that. Jose Miguel owns the Jaguars, as Brandon owns the Broncos. Those are very interesting teams to pick because, you know, obviously the Broncos IRL could use a lot more help than what they got. I honestly believe they overpaid for Russell Wilson. I mean, it was bad enough that they traded for him, but the fact that they overpaid him, honestly, I really think that set them back really bad. And then the Jaguars are just as bad as they've always been, and unfortunately, they're going to need a lot more help with what they have. And you know, as talented as Trevor Lawrence may be, he cannot do it all by himself, and they need a lot more help. I'm sorry, they need a lot more help. But anyway, as for the DAFL, which is Clinton's league, definitely check them out. Also, hey, what's up, Shifty? And Shifty, we're about to start the draft, and let me check my clock here. We'll be starting in about 40 seconds. So you're just in time, my friend. As we're going to find out where everybody's going to be drafted at. Also, I got to check out the last episode of Platinum Dragon Hockey League, the PDHL. I forgot to check that out, as it was during the work week that it happened. So I definitely got to watch the replay of that one. So I definitely want to give Platinum Dragon Studios his props. So I definitely want to do that. Ooh, what's this? Ooh. Okay, cool. Nice. Oh, that's right. Yes. I do recall. I actually came in towards the end of the show, and then I saw that the show ended prematurely. Yeah, I'm very sorry about that, Shifty, and but I do remember the end. I just didn't remember what happened before that. But I definitely feel terrible though. Still having overheating issues. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. But I'm hoping that whatever it is, you know, like I always try to give my systems a break. I mean, of course, it helps to have a job, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm definitely you're gonna take it apart soon. Well, I'm hoping that whatever is causing the overheating is taken care of. I definitely want you to, have fun with your systems, um, but whatever it takes to fix it, so be it. You have my support, my friend. Okay, so in the meantime, this would be a good time to go get some snacks or get a drink or something because it's now time for the draft. So, as before, I always rotate the teams, so you're not seeing the same teams over and over again, but with few unicorn exceptions, obviously. But the teams involved, one of them includes the New England Patriots. So let's go to where it says sign free agents. That's how I conduct the draft. After I've in fact, there you see your character, Shifty the Clown. What do you think of Shifty the Clown, the character, albeit without the face paint, without the rainbow afro from the tie dye mofo, with the midnight hobo. His name is Shifty. Yeah, I had to do it. I had to do it. But yeah, what do you think of Shifty the Clown, the man that you see in front of you? Anyway, so this is how we're going to conduct the draft. So, that being said, we're going to start with the Patriots. Now, obviously, the order of selection, these are the 8 teams that made the playoffs. And the bottom 4, the first 4 teams to pick, these were the teams that lost. Let me see. I'm trying to count on my hand here. Okay, so the bottom 4 teams were the ones that lost in the wild card round, and then the next 4 teams, they all lost in the divisional round. So the teams that lost in the divisional round have the higher seed, but get to pick towards the end rather than at the beginning. So it's a lot like the IRL draft in terms of its order. Also, hey, how's it going, LD? And LD, let me know if you or your master, so to speak, Greg, let me know if you want to have yourself or your master Greg come back, and I'm more than happy to bring you back. But other than that, I hope I hope you and the family's doing well. Whether it's you, the kids, or Crimson and Atticus and Kelly and all the others. But I'm happy that that's the case. So anyway, the first pick let's get this whole thing started without any further ado. Let's begin with the Patriots. So out of all the positions they may need, one of those positions is they need somebody to make big plays, and to do that, you need somebody like a wide receiver. So that's what the Patriots are aiming for. Oh, sorry, didn't want me to do that. And again, for those who are watching the replay, you can leave a comment as to how you feel about being selected by the team that you've been selected. And also, if you wish to make a trade, let me know before the first game of Season 12, because once I start, I can't make the change unless it's consensual. Well, that is if the other person agrees to do it. Yeah, things like that. All right. So, anyway, back to the selection. And the first pick is our good friend Ramesh, or the Ram, if you will. So Ram is the first overall pick of the draft. So I want to say congratulations to him. Okay. So now we move over to our next team. And this is a team that Shifty has stated that he does not want to play for, despite the fact that that the Raiders now play in Las Vegas and not in Oakland, but that hadn't stopped him from not wanting to be there. But one of the things that the Raiders had and still have to this day is they need somebody, to help with the secondary. They need somebody to help, especially with their, as good as their cornerbacks may be, they need somebody with a strong safety. And to that end, they need someone with experience, obviously. And that man is Jose Blanco. Yes, now Jose is back on defense, once again as a strong safety. And, of course, Jose actually wanted to play for the Raiders. Well, the Raiders must have heard because they're signing him. And then Brandon's like, hey, LD. All right, so far Jose is now the second overall pick. But now we go to our next team, and that is the Arizona Cardinals. And out of all the guys that they're going to pick, they are going to pick the Super Bowl MVP, and that man, oh, I got to go back this way. And that man is Brandon Cuevas at middle linebacker. Of course, this version of the Cardinals, this was when they were good. Now, not the team that's currently falling apart at this time. No, this was the Cardinals going into the 2021 season. This was the Cardinals when they were good, or at least good up until the first half was over. That being said, one of the biggest weaknesses was at middle linebacker. So Brandon is now a defensive player, but this time he is a middle linebacker, i.e. the quarterback of the defense. So he's still technically a quarterback, but now he's on defense, and I have a feeling that Brandon is going to hit and hit hard, and is the number 3 overall pick. So congratulations to Brandon. Okay, next up are the Cowboys. And the biggest weakness that they have is protecting the quarterback, but also having someone to snap the ball. So to that end, they are going to get someone who won a championship the last time that, yes, you are a middle linebacker. Oh yeah, and RS, we haven't... You're still on the board, by the way. You hadn't been picked yet. So you're still waiting for a team to call your name. So do stick around, my friend. But yes, you're a middle linebacker. Anyway, back to the Cowboys. So of course they are going to go back and see if that magic is still in play, and that man is Jordan Walker. And like I said, the last time that we saw the Cowboys, they won a championship with this man under center. And he's going to the Cowboys. But yeah, truthfully, be honest with me, Brandon. How do you feel about being a middle linebacker, by the way? All right, next team. And, of course, even though this team is a great team, it's just that the teams that came that are to pick after them have better records. So that's why the Bills are the next team up. The next team up. Excuse me, I can't talk. So one of the biggest weaknesses that they need, or among the weaknesses that they have, is that they need somebody to protect the quarterback at all costs. They need somebody to protect, and that man is Maxim Aurelius, aka Mr. PPF. So Mr. PPF is the number 5 overall pick. So congratulations to him. All right. Next team are the Tennessee Titans. Now, one of the biggest weaknesses that the Titans have is that they, like, of course, let's not forget that they already have a solid quarterback. They already have the best running back in the league in Derrick Henry. So they have mostly offensive They have most of the offensive weapons, save for one, and we'll get to that. But they need somebody to help with the defense, especially in the middle. So they need a defensive tackle. And to that end, the Tennessee Titans have selected at defensive tackle our boy Crimson Ninja. So yeah, Crimson Ninja has put on some muscle, and he's a beast. I will say that, though. Let me see who's in the chat there really quick. There we go. Okay. All right, next team. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a team that is loaded with talent and has few weaknesses, but if they did, it's weaknesses that they can show up. And one of those guys is a guy that is a big fan of the Buccaneers and has made it known. And I have to think that the Buccaneers took wind of this. And with that, that is, if I can find him, that is, they need a guy to help with their kicking game. You know, both kicking and punting as well. And that man is Mr. Miles Stanley Ward. So congratulations to Miles Stanley Ward. So far, RS is still on the board. I'll be interested to see which team takes a chance on him, given that this is his rookie year. And finally, the last team to pick, and that'll be the end of round 1, and we'll speed the rest of the rounds up from that point onward. Next up is the Green Bay Packers. Now, granted, this was the Green Bay Packers when they still had Devontae Adams and Marcus Valdez-Scantling. So this was before they lost those pieces. So the biggest weakness that they have, that this version has, is they need somebody to, like the Cowboys, they need somebody to block and snap the ball. And you could do worse with the remaining talent that's still up there than to get a center in the form of our good friend Biological. So congratulations to Biological on being the number 8th pick of the draft. All right. Now we'll speed the rest of this up. So back to the Patriots now. So with Ram, now of course Ram has, like I mentioned before, Ram has mentioned that the Patriots is one of his favorite teams, IRL. But the next weakness that they got to shore up is at defensive tackle. So to that end, that is, if I can find him, that is. No? The Patriots have now drafted the Hulk, Wally Walter Johnson. So congratulations to Wally Johnson on being selected by the Patriots. All right, back to the Raiders again. Oh, hey, there we go. All right, so the Raiders have Jose Blanco, so the next logical step is to add protection for the quarterback for David Carr. And to this end, they will have a left guard in our good friend Adidra Lewis, a.k.a. Munchie. So congratulations to Munchie as she joins the Silver and Black. But now we get to the Arizona Cardinals with Brandon Cuevas. So Brandon is with the team, but now we're going to find out who's going to join him. And another, and much like the Patriots before them, the next biggest weakness is defensive tackle. Oh, let me go to the, I almost forgot to go to the Cardinals. What am I doing? So at defensive tackle, oh, got to go back this way. At defensive tackle, they have selected Shadow Knight. Our good friend Shadow Knight. And we'll see how he does teaming up with Brandon and the rest of the Cardinals. But he did pretty well making it to the Super Bowl last season, albeit opposite of Brandon. But, you know, you've heard the expression, if you can't beat him, join him. All right. Next up, back to the Cowboys. And Brandon, you can tell me what you think of some of the picks that are joining the Cardinals as well. Feel free. So the Cowboys have a center, but the next thing is they need a center for the defense. And that's another defensive tackle. Yes, defensive tackle is one of two positions that was tied for the lead in terms of what all of these teams need. Well, most of them anyway. And of course, for this young man, there was only ever going to be one team he would want to play for, and that is Gregory Blakely at defensive tackle. We last saw him as a tight end, but here he's put on some muscle, and this guy's already a beast. I mean, he is the man behind Dreckenhart after all. Okay. Not sure if anyone else is watching. Okay. One person is okay. I'm sorry if I'm boring you guys to tears. I hope that's not the case. Now, of course, while the Buffalo Bills are a very talented team, they are not going to take any chances. So one of the things that they need is someone to cover the best wide receivers on opposite teams. And that man is going to be a man who was a wide receiver for the longest time, and that man is Diamond Light, as he gets to join the Bills Mafia. Make sure that the... Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that people can see. There we go. All right. So with the Titans, they already have Crimson Ninja, but now they need an offensive weapon. So they have one of the best. Now, obviously, this was before they traded away A.J. Brown. And, of course, we all know that A.J. Brown was coming into his own in what turned out to be his final season with the Titans. But they need somebody to complement him. And to do this, they have selected our very own Crushing Kelly. So, yep, Crushing Kelly is back to being a tight end. I mean, what can I say? Crushing Kelly can crush people. Whether it's blocking or whether it's catching touchdown passes, and she's done it quite a bit before, so she could do it again. All right, back to the Bucks. And then, and although I would have to think that this young man fancies himself a renegade, I have to think that the Buccaneers would fancy that too in a strong safety. Oh, got to go back the other way. And that man is Sly Cooper, our good friend Sly Cooper. Okay. But somehow no one has picked RS yet. Next up, the Green Bay Packers. Oh, there we go. All right, so to continue to help with the offensive line, they need somebody to protect Aaron Rodgers, and to that end is the man known as Triple Beats, formerly known as Beetleborgs. Hey, what's up, Jamar? How you doing, man? And Jamar, you haven't been picked yet, so you're still on the board, young man. But also, that's another guy you can check out, Jamar Games, with his wrestling show and with as well as his Let's Play of Crash Bandicoot. I believe it was Crash Bandicoot 4. But nonetheless, though, it's great to see you, man. All right. So their pick for the Green Bay Packers is Triple Beats at left guard. All right. Now time for the Patriots again. And of course, one thing that Belichick often does is if your kicker or punter is not up to snuff, he will draft one. And in this case, that is exactly the case. As the Patriots have selected Blade Charge. So congratulations to Blade Charge. Back to the Raiders then. And to go with Munchie, they needed yet another person to block, and that person is going to be someone who can also snap a ball too. And that man is Cole Weston. I mean, for the last couple of seasons, he's been a defensive tackle, and he has played center before, so he has the experience to do it. And I have to think that's a great choice. Great choice. Now it's time for the Cardinals. But yeah, how's everything going in Jamar land? I know you said you were doing well, but how's everything in Jamar land? But also, I want to mention Jamar as far as Blue Toad Wrestling is concerned, is that I gotta check one last time to see if you qualify for the United States or the Intercontinental title. But once I find that out, I will let you know. Wonderful, awesome, and also, hey, what's up, Jose? And Jose, you were already drafted, and I'll tell you where you got drafted in just a moment. But for the Cardinals, to help with the offensive line and to protect Kyler Murray, is in his third season a good friend of ours, Jacob Baker. So, and in fact, he's actually a good friend of yours, Jose, and that's Jacob Baker. And this is also the same team that drafted Big Brother Brandon as well. All right, now time for the Cowboys. And much like the Patriots, they also need a kicker/punter. And then, hey, Jamar, Jose, LD. Big family here. Anyway, as far as the Cowboys are concerned, they need somebody to kick field goals as well as punt, and that falls onto the foot of Clinton Flippin. So yes, kicker / punter also tied for the most positions with defensive tackle. That's what most of these teams needed. Just wanted to point that little tidbit out there. All right, back to the Bills. Bills Mafia time. So they have a left guard, they have a cornerback, but now they need somebody to get the middle of the defense on the left side, and that is going to go to DWO member Feck, King Feck. So he gets to join the leader of the DWO, Diamond Light. Of course, that is who is also the best friend, and I stress best friend in quotation marks, of Jamar Games. Not really. But we move on. and that was a terrible joke on my part, so do excuse that for me. But also, just like the Cowboys, the Titans definitely need help with their kicking game. And to that end, they have Patty Chase. So congratulations to Patty, as she gets to join her good friend Crushing Kelly, and also friend Crimson Ninja as well on the Titans. Now it's time to go back to the Bucks. So, while this team doesn't have very many weaknesses, one thing that they would need is a defensive end. And that honor falls to the leader of MSK, James Gamer. So congratulations to James. All right, back to the Packers now. And much like some of the other teams that drafted a kicker / punter in the third round, that honor also falls onto our good friend Drum Monkey. So congratulations to Drum Monkey. Okay, now we're on to our fourth round. And we're back to the Patriots. Well, and I'm happy that this person is in the chat because this person just got picked. Now, the Patriots, we all know that they've struggled. Ever since Tom Brady left them, they haven't really been the same. And unfortunately, Mac Jones hasn't worked out, or at least he hasn't worked out yet. But in the meantime, they need somebody who can play and play well. And that man is Jamar Games. So he joins a team that already has Blade Charge, Wally, and Ram. So, of course, with Wally and Ram being also members of the Shield World Order, which is a group that was run by Captain Danger. So he gets to join his SWO brothers in Wally, Ram, as well as Blade Charge, who's also with them as well. Yes, okay, so Jose knows, all right. But yes, Jamar, you got drafted by the Patriots. Any thoughts on that? And speaking of Jose, now that he knows that he was drafted by the Raiders, now, of course, Jose knows, I would have to think he now knows that, Munchie's with him, Cole Weston's with him, but so will this man. And this team also needs a defensive tackle. And now he's going to have a really large man to help him. And that man is Mike Watson. Yes, you're the quarterback of the Patriots. The true successor to, everybody's favorite, Tom Brady. Not really. But yeah, you're more or less the successor of Tom Brady now. So I don't know how you feel about that. But yes, Mike Watson's going to be joining, no, not the Patriots, sorry. The Raiders. My bad. So Mike Wasson joins as a 4th-round pick. That's not bad. So yeah, Jose, what do you think of the choices besides yourself on the Raiders? I'll let you think about that one. And the same can be said about the Cardinals with Brandon drafted first by them. So they need somebody to help with the secondary. And to do that, they have selected, no, not Antonio Brown, Adrian Chambly. Former Blue Toad Wrestling Champion twice over. And next up are the Cowboys. Just wanted to give you a happy face there. Back to the Cowboys. Now they do need some help with their secondary, and you could do no worse than pick Darius Helms. So Darius Helms is going to be joining the Cowboys. Now we go from the Cowboys to the Bills. And, of course, sticking with the theme of the Diamond World Order, they have selected, much like some of the other teams that have needed a kicking punter / kicker, and hello to Goof. Hello, Goof. And who's Travis Hunter? Anyway. So, to help with their kicking game, they have Jet Strike to help with them. I need you to tell me who the Raiders drafted so I can give you my personal... Okay. Actually, I'll just show you after the last person has been drafted, so... Not a problem, man. Not a problem. Or if you just need to talk about it, that's fine with me, too. So I'm cool with that. Next up are the Titans, actually. The best receiver you'll ever see is making it to the NFL. Watch. All right, I'll check him out, though. Not a problem. Back to the Titans, though. So, of course, the Titans got word that this person lives in Tennessee, more specifically in Nashville. Now, of course, this was before she married into royalty, as far as the Dragon family are concerned. So before she was ever a dragon, by marriage, she lived in Nashville, Tennessee. And to that end, we have the debut of Jennifer Riley, formerly known as Jennifer Richards, at cornerback. And that will also help with their secondary. So congratulations to Jen as she makes her debut and does it for the hometown team, well, for her hometown team, that is, the Tennessee Titans. All right, next up is the Buccaneers. Now, obviously, the loss of Antonio Brown, or Antonio Clown, whatever you want to call him, but the loss of, Brown really hurt because now they need somebody to replace him. And that man is one of the men that helped with the Commanders winning the Super Bowl last season rather. And that man is Double J, Joshua James. So he gets to be a Buccaneer. And it kind of works because he always does the aye aye or Army mateys, or because he tends to do that in the chat, so it's like, yeah, it kind of fits. Anyway, let's go back to the Packers now. So So another thing that they need is a tight end. And perhaps the biggest tight end that they would have ever gotten. And that man is Shifty the Clown. Yes, you heard right. The 7-foot, 275-pound Shifty the Clown is going to play tight end. Anyway. Get rid of that. Anyway. DK or Reek? Oh, you mean Tyreek or DK Metcalf? As far as the race between wide receivers? It's kind of hard to say because, DK is not someone you should sleep on, but Tyreek, he is somewhat of a, once in a generation talent. I mean, he's fast. I mean, if I had to pick, maybe, man, that's tough though. That's really tough though. But if I had to pick just one, I would probably pick DK Metcalf. Because really it just comes down to consistency on the part of the quarterback. And of course, unfortunately with Tua, having suffered that concussion, I still remember when he suffered that concussion, like against the Bengals. Obviously that hurt Tyreek's chances of becoming the best wide receiver in the game right now. Now, if I had to pick who's winning now, I would say DK right now, but that's only because, Geno Smith hasn't gone down with a major injury or has had terrible games or anything like that. So if I had to pick one, it would be DK. Anyway, back to the Packers. They select Shifty the Clown. All right, now it's time for our final round. And the Patriots, they need somebody to help with defense on the defensive end in the trenches. So they already have Wally, but they need somebody to help with the left side. And that man is JT Price. So the Patriots have officially gotten JT Price, Jamar Games at quarterback, Blaycharge, kicker, punter, Wally at defensive tackle, and Ram at wide receiver. So those are their picks. Now we go to the Raiders and their final selection. And their final selection involves picking perhaps the greatest player that never played IRL. Nah, just kidding about that last part. But no, other than that, they are picking someone who is a big fan of the Raiders, IRL, and that's me, TJ Toad. To Jew 22, whatever you want to call me. So the Raiders, with this selection, and of course I'm playing right outside linebacker too. I almost forgot to mention that little part there. So they have me at right outside linebacker. Can't talk. They have a defensive tackle in Mike Wasson. They have a center in Cole Weston, also known as Elock Oxford, in WWE 2K22. Then they have Munchie, a.k.a. Deidre Lewis, at left guard. And they have a strong safety in the second overall pick, Jose Blanco. So those are the guys and gal for the Raiders. Adams needs a QB. Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, that is true. Now, mind you, this was before Adams joined the Raiders. This was when he was still with the Packers. Now, but by the time I get Madden 24, I always update every 2 years. So next time that I get a new game, it'll be Madden 24. Because I'm trying to get as much mileage out of this game as I can, just as I did with Madden 20. But yeah, this was when Adams was still with the Packers, by the way. But yeah, it is true. He does need a QB, but really, if I had to pick something, it would probably be they need someone who's a better decision maker. And it has nothing to do with Carr. It has more to do with the coach. Unfortunately, the coach, if anything, the coach is really one of the people that have dropped the ball. Now, granted, some of the players have dropped the ball too, especially with the fumble during the second game, which had that not happened, the Raiders probably would have beaten the Cardinals. But unfortunately, they fumbled it away, and then the Cardinals ended up winning because of it. I like. Well, Carr is not exactly a bad QB. It would help to have a much better one, but on the other hand, that team definitely needs to step up its game. If not, get some new talent in the draft or something. I don't know what else I can say about that one other than, it's a lot more than just needing a new QB. That's all I'm going to say. Because you can have the best QB, but if you don't have someone to protect him, or if you don't have, the talent, I mean, the talent's there, but unfortunately, it's just not being put together properly. And you also have to have the coaching, too. But that's just me, though. Yeah, I agree. They could use someone better. We'll have to see how the Raiders finish. And if they finish closer to the bottom, then they might be able to find their successor. That is, if none of the other teams that are below them take what they would otherwise get. But really, I would, if anything, if I had to pick one thing, it would be the coach. Because unfortunately, the coach, his name escapes me right now, but the coach is, if anything, the coach is one of the reasons why they're not doing so well. I mean, he's like Josh McDaniel. Now that I remember, Josh McDaniel, he is a bit of a better coach than Nathaniel Hackett, but that's not really saying much, really. Unfortunately, Nathaniel Hackett, like the games that he did win with the Broncos, they won in spite of him, not because of him. And the same could be said about the Raiders, winning a few of the games they won in spite of Josh McDaniels. I'm sorry, but, unfortunately, sometimes the coach can bring a whole team down. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that a team can win because of their coach, but they can definitely lose because of their coach. But that's like my little tidbit there. Anyway, back to the draft. Let's finish up. But yeah, I definitely agree with you, Mr. Groove. Now for the Cardinals, their final pick is at right offensive tackle, so they have someone to help Mr. Jacob Baker and to help with the run game, and that man is Blaze McCoy, the Steel City Superman. However, unfortunately, the Steel City is not available to be part of the show, as they were part of season 11. Back to the show, though. Now we go to the Bills. Of course, most people and their dog would say that the Bills are the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl this year. We all know that. But yeah, let's see. As far as other players that are doing well, let's see. Well, one team that is doing well is the Eagles, although they've done a great job as far as the front office getting the pieces that they have. And will it translate into a Super Bowl? Maybe, maybe not. But it gives them a great run to do so. And so far they're 8-0. I don't know how long that's going to last, but if this team puts it together, especially when it matters most, this could be something special. Back to the Bills, though, and their final pick. Now, obviously, another big thing that they need is someone to run the ball. And of course, naturally, they will go with the last remaining member of the um, Diamond World Order, and that is our good friend Naji. So Naji will get to join the thing. Yeah, they are definitely going crazy this season. I mean, but yeah, definitely. While the Raiders, as much as I wanted them to succeed, they have not lived up to expectations. But you cannot argue, or one cannot argue, that the Broncos had even higher expectations because, while most people thought the Raiders wouldn't win the division, a lot of people thought that the Broncos would have either won the division, if not come close to winning it, but that's not even the case. But yeah, I mentioned early in the show that I honestly believe that the Broncos overpaid for for Russell Wilson. I'm sorry, but they did. Whereas the Eagles, as far as Jalen Hurts is concerned, he's definitely lived up to his promise, and I'm happy for him. I'm definitely happy for him with the Eagles. Broncos, on the other hand, I have an uncle who, or actually more of an uncle through marriage, actually. But my uncle, who's a big fan of the Broncos, to say that he was pulling his hair out would be a massive understatement. Because the Broncos, they had so much high expectations, but yeah, exactly. He's been a wash this season. It's not even funny. In fact, at first I laughed, but then I realized it's sad. And I'm sad for the other guys, too, because they had high expectations, and Russ he messed it all up. Anyway, we now move on to happier things, like the Titans. Although the Titans are also in that same category of teams that are regressing, although at least their regression was more expected than the Broncos. Although to say that they're having a better season is a massive overstatement. Anyway, this was the Titans when they had one of the best records in the league, or at least the best record in the conference. And their final pick for this Madden season is at right offensive tackle, Atticus Black. And of course, that will be to help King Henry get some yards. So yeah, Mr. Goof, I'm doing a thing where it's kind of like WWE with created wrestlers, but it's created players. So that's how this one works, though. Anyway, we're now down to our last three picks, actually. Or wait. Oh, I skipped a pick. I'm sorry. I skipped a pick. I skipped the Cowboys, who were supposed to come after the Cardinals, but before the Bills. But otherwise, no harm, no foul. As they still get the guy that they need, and that's MBN John. No, I do not play Ultimate Team. Although, if I was to try to play it, dude, you probably would kill me, honestly. But no, I don't play it. I merely do, simulations and things like that. But I know that other people play it, and I will admit it's a lot of fun. My good friend Tan Man, he plays it, just doesn't stream it though. That's the only thing. But yeah, without question, you probably would kill me. Anyway, the Cowboys get for middle linebacker MBN John. All right, now to our last two picks. Next up, the Buccaneers. Anyway, if you want to do on one in any mode, we can if you want. Well, I'm gonna have to get some practice in, dude. Because like I said, I tried playing the game myself. I absolutely stink at it, actually. I only just know how to put a team together, let alone. But yeah, I might have to get some practice in. So if I try to do it, I might. But I appreciate the offer, though. Because anyway, I don't want to go too far into it. But as far as the Buccaneers are concerned, they need somebody to help with uh, protecting the quarterback, protecting Brady, and that man is the rookie RSTV. So RSTV is the second to last man picked in the draft, which means that the Green Bay Packers, by default, get Mr. Irrelevant, although I wouldn't call this man Mr. Irrelevant for the fact that the man is 305 pounds and over 7 feet tall, or at 7 feet tall, since that's the max height that you can have. And that man is the Brooklyn Joker at defensive tackle. So that is our final pick. But definitely, thank you for the offer, though, Mr. Goof. I definitely appreciate it. If anything, I'm more comfortable talking about football, if anything. So those are our picks. In fact, let me do the next best thing. So hold on a moment. Let me see. So he doesn't have any content. Well, hopefully you do get some content, dude. But there you go. I just wanted to repay the favor, since we did talk about some football. So there you go, my friend. Okay, so that is our draft. Now, for those of you that are watching this on the replay, the likes of, the House of Black, the DWO. Hold that thought, Goof, or Mr. Goof. Or say Brooklyn Joker and Drum Monkey, or who else are we talking about? The SWO. Well, that is everyone, including Jamar and Mike Wasson, and so yeah. For those of you that are in this, if you wish to make a trade or anything like that, let me know. But once the first game starts, you're set for the most part. So with that said. Oh, before I go any further, Mr. Goof, would you like to be a roster member? That is, I make your character and then put you in a position, and then, right now I can put you on the wait list, and then say if I need to take out somebody and replace them with you, I can do that. But yeah, I wanted to give you a subscription because, I started out. I started out, and I believe I remember that. I remember when I first had like 100 subscribers, and what's the roster member? Oh, what's the roster? As in, what does that mean? Or as in, who are the roster members? What do you mean by what's the roster member? Or the maximum number of people in the roster, you mean? I'm just curious, that's all. What is it? Oh, okay. Okay. I'll just give you a little sample of what I mean. Let me go to Creation Center really quickly. I'm not going to make a new character, but just to give you an idea of what I mean is, I go to Create Player, because I was doing this draft for those who I've made custom characters of. That would include somebody like Jose Blanco, who was in the live chat, or Brandon Cuevas, and Jamar Games. So basically it would be like if I made you, like I would put Goof or whatever your name happens to be, or whatever name you want to be known as. Like I can call you Mr. Goof or whatever your name is. And then you would tell me what positions you prefer to have. Definitely have more than one, because that way I can have an idea of, okay, I can put you in these positions, things like that. Like if you want to be a quarterback, halfback, you know the positions. I don't have to tell you about those ones. But then in terms of appearance, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? Your skin tone, face, things like that. Things like that. So what I would have to do, of course, right now the roster's full, but I might have to. Let me see. Let me see if I can find someone who is not coming back, or who I can replace you with. But if I was to replace somebody with you, what is your height, weight, and then in terms of skin tone, skin number 1, of course, is the lightest tone, and then 7 is the darkest, and then everything in between. And then depending on what skin tone you pick, say if I pick 3, you get the following faces. But yeah, skin tone determines what face types you have. And then, of course, like, do you want a big chest? Do you want a big belly? Or do you want big arms? Things like that. And the higher the number, the larger your body parts are. Well, not like that, but you know what I mean. And then equipment is kind of... and then as far as equipment is concerned, unless you know what you want, it's definitely cosmetic. But if you want something certain, I will be more than happy to put that on you. Rating, I will take care of that myself, though. Is height and weight realistic? Because I'm not that big for the position I want. Well, what is the position you want? I'm just curious, though. But yeah, overall, I will take care of that myself. I try to give my players an overall of 87. That's what I give my created players, and to intersperse them with the real life players that are part of the team, or at least the ones that were on the team at that time. But yeah, what is the position you want? I'm curious. In fact, let me put your name on the list right now. Cornerback. I have seen people, and plus you don't even need to use your actual height and weight. But because I can always adjust the height and the weight, so it's like, and plus it's not like I know what you look like, so. But yeah, cornerback, I've seen people that were as tall as 6'5" be a cornerback, and they were fast. Of course, they didn't have a lot of weight. But, of course, that's just the typical cornerback, though. But no, quarterback is actually pretty, but cornerback is definitely a definite favorite position of mine in terms of, like, me watching football. Because cornerback doesn't get as much love as, say, the quarterback does. Or even a linebacker does. Alright, so I'll put your name up there. Or on the list, though. I'll put Goof and cornerback. There we go. Okay, 5'10". 5'10". And let me see. You have 163. I mean, of course, if I have to adjust it in terms of making you way more than you have to based on the game, that's more of a game thing. All right, I'm going to test this out. Hold on a moment. Let me pick cornerback. I'm just going to test this out. So, give me a moment. And if I was to set you at 5'10", what's the most I can make you weigh? Or can you weigh even 6 or 163 pounds? Well, I'll be... Okay, so you can play it. Nice! Oh, yeah. Yep. You can play it and still be 5'10" at 163 pounds. And then what is your skin tone? Because, I mean, all the other stuff, like the favorite number, like college you come from. Well, I mean, college you can you come from. You can tell me what color college you come from though, and as well as team. I'm like those things are adjustable, but but in terms of skin 4, okay, skin 4. And then unfortunately they don't show. There are certain faces that they don't show until you pick it, but of the ones you can see. There's skin number 2. I don't know if you have a mustache or if you're clean shaven. I'm not sure if you look more like this guy right here, this guy, or if you have some more. Any face is fine. Okay. I'm just showing you the faces so that if you see a face that closely resembles yours, we can go with it. And I'll put that down on my list. So that when I replace somebody with you, I'll be like, oh yeah, that was the face you picked. And then there's some more over here. 13, 14, 15, 16. And then, ooh, you got corn rolls, and then you have, and then you had some, I'm not sure if they call them dreadlocks or anything, but they look good. And number 21. Yeah, skin 4 is kind of in the middle because you have some that are 13. Ooh, nice. I will, let me put the okay, face 13. Skin 4. All right, skin 4. Face 13. Okay. And then, okay, so obviously because you're a cornerback, you don't have a big belly, but I have to think that your chest is a bit bigger than your belly. You know, because again, you're not like a lineman or anything like that. And let me see. And then I think your arms are about that big. I'm just getting an estimate as to how big, you know, certain parts of your physical stature is. And then arm definition is just how more defined your guns are. The less defined, the more it looks like that, or the more defined, the more muscular it looks. And then rear is just the size of your butt, and then same thing with your thigh. Your same thing with thigh, and then calves. All right, I'll put it to this side. So if there's anything you want me to make big or small, let me know. But if you like it, I'll keep it. And plus, I can also have you play different positions besides just cornerback. That's good. So don't be surprised if I put you at safety, like strong safety, free safety, and then maybe if I put you at linebacker, I might just beef you up in terms of your weight. But I'll definitely have you play the smaller positions like wide receiver as well, and what else? Maybe even a quarterback at one point. I'm just thinking outside the box besides just that, as well as maybe kicker / punter if need be. I'm just thinking in terms of like, okay, so what can someone who stands at 5'10" and at 163 do? That's just what just goes through my mind. That is, but no, cornerback is awesome. I like that. But as far as equipment, is there any certain equipment that you want? I mean, helmet types and face masks. I mean, the face mask is dependent on what helmet you pick, but yeah, if you see anything you like. I played corner since 5 years old. Ooh, that is awesome. Well, in that case, I definitely wish you IRL all the best luck in terms of, you know, getting noticed and okay. F7. Let me see. Oh, shove, and then 20% visor. Oh, what visor though? We have clear, smoke, dark, the Oakley clear, the prism, which gives you a red visor, smoke, as well as dark as well, or no visor. That is Oakley smoke. Okay, I'll give you that one. And then in terms of face mask, there's the 2-bar, 3-bar. Okay. The robot. Interesting. Running back. Let me see. Full cage. That looks good. I'm just going through the face masks. But I think after that, I'll stop from that point onward. Full cage robot. Nice. And then the kicker. Although I don't know if you would want the kicker, though. Small pads, too. Okay, well, they're already at the smallest that they can be. All right, cool. Let me see. 3-bar. Actually, yeah, I'll go with that one. That one looks good. Let's see what other ones we have here. Simple but effective. I like it. Okay, so F7. Oh, yeah, let me go back to the top. Schult F7. I'm putting this stuff down so that I remember what I picked last time and what visor you picked and whatnot. Vengeance robot. And Oakley smoke. Nice. Not a problem, Goof. I don't know if you want me to call you Goof, but that's what your YouTube name is. But other than that, though, I mean, I do more than just Madden. I also do other streams, too, like WWE. I'm not sure what other sports that you watch, or if you watch other things besides Madden. But yeah, I do other streams, too, or other games, I should say. And I'm not just limited to PlayStation games, too. I also do Nintendo Switch as well. Montre. Okay. Actually, you know what? That actually sounds better. I'll call you Mr. Montre. Montre. And then in parentheses, Goof, so I remember that it's you. There we go. Montre. That actually is a cool name. I'm not gonna lie. That actually is cool. All right, let me exit out here. No, I'm not gonna save the player. But anyway, outside of that, that is gonna do it. I will be joining a good friend of mine with his 24-hour stream. Let me share it again really quickly. Oh, wow, he's already starting. Shoot. Didn't mean to scare you there. Anyway, my good friend Triple Beat is going to be doing a 24-hour stream if you're interested. But other than that, this is the Blue Toad to Jew22 signing off saying goodbye. I will see you tomorrow. Well, the audience in general tomorrow for WWE 2K4, not 2K14, 2K22. Ah, bad. But I will see you then for that. Yeah, I've been making, actually for over a decade, actually. I've been doing, I've been making content for whether it was, filming in front of the television, ghetto style, or whether it was uh, during my time as a Let's Player, or as recent as 2000 or 2018 as a streamer. So I also still do the occasional vlog or two, but yeah, I've been in it for a decade, and it feels like a lifetime ago. It really does. In fact, I don't even know how the time just flew by, but it did. And yet somehow it just feels like a lifetime ago, like I said. But other than that, though, I appreciate it, and for those who are watching this on the replay, uh, I feel you, bro. But have a good rest of your night, and I'll try to make it in the next stream. All right, cool. All right, I will keep that in mind, Mr. Montre, or Goof, if you wish for me to call you that. But either way, for Goof and for everybody else, this is the Blue Toad to Jew 22 signing off. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. And do stay safe, because it's a very it's a lot like Cat Stevens once said. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. I mean, it really is a wild world, so definitely stay safe, and definitely take good care of yourself. Until then, have a great night, everybody. Peace.